My name is Anton Nelson. I run a production company here in London. We specialise in action sports, motorsports, corporate and technology, and previously did a lot of work in music. The principle when I founded my production house was to specialise in Ultra HD. So we have Red Weapon Helium, we have Blackmagic Ursa 12K, and all of the interview and gimbal work is done on Blackmagic Pocket 6K and Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro. My production company is a product of the digital generation. Almost everything that we do is first play to YouTube, Instagram, or to Facebook. We do TV content as well, and more often than not now we're creating episodic TV content around motorsports that's also getting distributed through partners like YouTube. The vertical 9:16 video, sure, it existed before TikTok, but TikTok is what's blown that platform up into visibility. There's all these sort of different formats and requirements, which means there's actually quite a lot of pressure to create 4K content, because more often than not you're not going to come across a broadcast partner who's going to demand 4K as part of a broadcast package, but more of my digital clients are asking for 4K native content. The reason for focusing on ultra high resolution is being able to capture multiple framings within one capture. So I'll often compose and use a lens that allows me to simultaneously get a strong 4:5 image and 16:9 image out of the same shot. Again, very vital in things like motorsports, particularly live events where you can't ask an athlete to do it again. But even when you can, still being able to have a good relationship with an athlete and not tire them out doing the same thing over and over again is crucial. Well, one of the largest issues with the type of work that I'm doing, particularly in the motorsports context, is I'm often editing on the road away from the studio environment. Often as a solo editor, I might have another editor with me. Particularly in the times of COVID, I might have to quarantine them in another location. For Silverstone, for example, I had a night editor working shifts while I had several camera operators creating day content. In these kinds of environments, all of the editing work is being done on a laptop, off mobile SSD type solutions. And one of the biggest issues with working with super resolution cameras, the 8K, the 12K, even with the 4K, is when you're working with raw formats for that maximum clarity, that maximum quality, you're ending up creating vast amounts of data. And this has up until now been a bit of a bottleneck when trying to deliver short form social media content in the space of as little as 2 or 3 hours after an event has happened. So I started using the OWC ThunderBlade just after Silverstone. I had several rounds of the British Superbike, been using it on the road, working with Ferrari and Puma, and also Bentley as my primary ingest device. The design on it is great. The software is incredibly easy to use. I mean, the device is fundamentally plug and play. Basically, you don't need to set anything up. You plug it in, it appears as a rated solution straight away, and I can just dump my content on and generate things. I mean, the first thing I always do with solutions like this is stress test them. So I took it to a motocross event to run off dailies, content that needed to be reformatted from a 16:9 capture that was going to be used in a TV composition wrap-up edit, and take 9:16 verticals out of these 8K shots so I could deliver them to the digital team who want to be able to integrate them into the stories that they were posting on a day-by-day basis at the event. This would be moments captured with a phone, but then they would drop in super slow motion cinema action of their riders just to break up and give a bit more prestige to that stories experience. One of the key things is the OWC ThunderBlade is solid state. This means that it's more durable. I actually recently just took my entire drift edit that I was working on to Chicago, and again, I could just take hand luggage. I don't need to have a special Pelican case to fly it around. It literally fits in a padded soft pocket case with a power supply, and the footprint is minimal. The speed is so crucial when you're working with large file sizes. I mean, Apple have a white paper that shows what the ProRes data rate is backwards and forwards, and I'm getting plenty of headroom to be able to edit that stuff, multiple streams of that, and render without having any issue in playback, which again is vital when I've got a client with me on location, and even more important if I'm outputting something, putting it onto a Dropbox or a Frame.io and getting them checked out before it goes out to publishing.